everybody, my name is Jessica Hitt and welcome to Jessflix. This is a show where basically I take those movies that you keep passing up when you are looking for something to watch on Netflix and review them and tell them whether you should keep passing them by or watch them. On today's episode we are going to be doing a Maximum Ride is what we're doing today. If you don't know, Maximum Ride is a book series written by James Patterson. I think there's about 6 books in the series at the moment. I stopped at the 3rd one. It's a nice little trilogy and then they kind of just get not good in my opinion. I was obsessed with these books when I was younger. It was right after I first started reading Harry Potter, so I was really into reading. And so I picked up the Maximum Ride, and it is about these group of kids who have been experimented on by scientists, of course, for all of their childhood basically, and they have wings coming out, and so they can fly, and some of them have other powers. So it's like it's kind of got a comic book premise to it in a way, but it's not at all like that. I remember reading this first book in the trilogy that I call a trilogy because I didn't want to read the other ones. Well, I tried reading the 4th one and it really was not good in my opinion, but I reread that book like 1,000 times. I was obsessed with it, and the book is probably about that big. And when I was scrolling through things trying to find something to watch and I saw that they made a Maximum Ride movie, I was thinking that's gonna be terrible because so much happens in this book that I could totally see them trying to split it up, because it's just like, it would be impossible to do the whole first Maximum Ride book in a movie. Also, since I had not heard about them making this movie, and of course it was not released in theaters, it was a straight to DVD or online streaming type thing. I guess you'd call it straight to online streaming. And I knew their budget wasn't gonna be good, it probably wasn't gonna have the greatest actors in it, and I was right. I don't think necessarily that the actors were bad, I just think that with what they were given and the direction that they were given to take it, it wasn't the best. But I mean, it's a B movie really, so you don't expect there to be great acting, and I can look past that. Surprisingly, I can look past that. The greatest part were those terrible action sequences, because they must have had the worst budget when it came to action sequences. And also, the main girl, she looks like she should be Maximum Ride because she's super thin, but there's no muscle tone. So when she's like trying to beat someone up, I'm like, yeah, her arm is just gonna snap. But speaking of looking like a character, I did think they did a good job in casting most of these 6 kids with wings. They look like how I imagine them, except for probably Fang. I expected him to be taller and skinnier and darker hair, but I've seen that actor somewhere and I do like him in things. I do not know his name, I cannot remember his name, but I mean, I'm not someone who's like, they have to fit the book version of them perfectly. I mean, I grew up with Harry Potter where Harry's supposed to be like 6 foot and he ends up being 5'5" in the last one, so I'm used to it. Anyway, I'm trying not to spoil the movie in case you do want to watch it, but it's kind of a sci-fi fantasy like action flick. I would say more of a sci-fi action flick, and it's enjoyable, especially if you've read the books. If you've read the Maximum Ride trilogy, I would definitely recommend seeing this movie just because it's kind of like wish fulfillment in a way, because I wanted one for so long. If you haven't read the books, watch it when there's absolutely nothing that you have to watch and you're bored and maybe you want to laugh, because it's cheesy. It's cheesy. I don't know if they're gonna make a 2nd one, because I am going to spoil this. They didn't go through the entire 1st book. They went through probably half of it, I mean the 2nd half of that book is my favorite, so I wouldn't mind seeing that, but they did leave it for a sequel. Like, you could tell they were kind of setting it up, but I'm wondering how this is distributed, because it wasn't in the theaters, I had not heard of it. I don't think it was a Netflix movie. I'm pretty sure that it was just put out there and Netflix kind of picked it up because it was one of those movies and they probably just wanted it to get out, so they allowed anyone to do it. Anyway, me personally, I enjoyed the film, and that's just because I read the books. If I had not read the books, I probably wouldn't have enjoyed it. And I haven't read those books in a long time, so I was like, oh yeah, that happens. Oh yeah, that's this person's name. One thing I will say is I do think they captured the feel of the book, which to me is more important than casting the look-alike characters or doing a good action scene. If you get the feel of it, you know, I'm pretty much down for the movie. Like I said earlier, it's a B movie. It's not supposed to knock your socks off or wow you, but it is enjoyable in my opinion. So, like I said, if you've read the books, definitely watch it. If you haven't read the books, I'd still say watch it, but don't take it too seriously. That's my only thing. Do not take this film too seriously. Okay, that is my Jessflix review of Maximum Ride on Netflix. Thank you for watching the video. If you liked it, give it a thumbs up, comment down below, tell me if you read those books, and if you did, what was your favorite of the trilogy, or I guess if you liked the last couple, you could say those two. Also, subscribe if you haven't already. I put out videos Monday through Friday, all reviews and talking about movies and things for you to watch, so yeah, just subscribe. I will see you tomorrow.